G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, representing my insanity, playing in the color orange as the Malians, we've got Zerton. And on the south side of the map, playing as the Mongols in the color teal, it's Crackety here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, I don't know exactly which game number this is, but we're getting on in this series right now. If you're unfamiliar with the way that this series works, I will explain it to you guys shortly, but just know this, that right now, on Twitch and YouTube, Red Bull Wololol is live. At least, it probably is. I don't know exactly when this video will get posted over onto YouTube and when you guys are actually watching it, but just know that I am currently in Heidelberg. I'm casting Red Bull Wololol every single day. I want you guys to be there with me and witness it. If you can't be there in person, that's okay. You come along, you watch the Twitch stream, you watch the YouTube stream, and you enjoy it because it's going to be some of the best games for $300,000. So, just do it, all right? Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this game. Let's talk about where we're up to in this game. So it looks like it's going to be single scout openings from both of these players. Let's have a look and see exactly where we're up to in this series. So you can see that it started out Ottomans versus Malians. It was a Zerton victory. In the last game that we had, it was Ottomans versus the Abbasid dynasty, another Zerton victory. So now we move on into this matchup, and once again, we're going to have the Malians going up against the Mongols. So it's a pretty decent matchup here for the Mongols, and it's going to be Crackety that is on the Mongols here. If you're unfamiliar with how these rules work, well, I'm not going to bother explaining them to you. They're way too complex and way too darn complicated. But just know that there's going to be lots of games, and those games are going to be good quality games as well. But we'll take a look now and see exactly how he's doing. So far, it looks like we've just got ourselves just a two-house opening, and it's going to be an early barracks. So we're seeing a Dark Age barracks coming out of the Malians. Now, this is a pretty typical response that you can expect to see against the Mongols. And the reason why is because the Mongols love to put on that early pressure. We take a look down on the south side of the map. But have a look at this. There's no pressure coming out from the Mongols whatsoever. They're playing it very defensively, and I think that's a super smart move from Crackety to be doing that. To be going for just a pretty much an age up into archers, it's going to make a lot of sense because any Donzos that come out and apply pressure, he's just going to be able to utilize the archers that he's got and force back those Donzos without doing too much hassle, too much work. He's got a great spawn as well. Look at this. He's got back berries, triple back berries, double back stone, back gold as well. And yeah, for the most part, a pretty decent spawn. But if I'm Crackety here, I'm thinking that I'm pretty happy with the way that this is playing out so far. I guess the interesting thing to note is that his town center is away from both the gold and the stone. So he's exposed on both of these parts. So we could potentially see Donzos coming in for the most part. Oh, it looks like we did have a barracks cancel in the Dark Age. So interesting. But now, look at that. Instead of... Oh my god, it's so smart. It's so big brain. So he uses the wood that he made for... that he gathered for the barracks, and instead cancels that barracks and uses that wood on the houses. So smart. So instead of the Mongol player being able to burn down those houses, originally, he wasn't able to do that. So I think that's an absolute big brain play here. And I think that if you're playing this matchup, it is 100% something that you should do. If you're up against that early aggression, look to try and get this barracks down. If you're not against that early aggression, then make sure you cancel that barracks and always try and fill out these houses as quickly as possible. But we do see the age up now coming through. It's going to be 10 villagers on the Malians quarry. What is Zerton doing? I just can't. I just don't know. I would love to ask him. In fact, I'm going to pick his brain. I want to know about this. Why is it that he deems it so necessary to have a huge amount of villagers building this landmark every single time? Villager moving out, manages to take out the sheep carcass. We did see it was repairing the house for the most part, but it is going to get slowly damaged here by the Khan, by the scout as well. Keep in mind, this guy dishes out 2 damage and attack, and now going to be moving out even more villagers out towards his position. He wants to make sure he maintains the integrity of this house. Check back in over with Crackety and see how he's doing. There's going to be 6 villagers on the deer stones here, so a bit of a slow age up for him compared to Zerton. Zerton just rushing that age up. I guess I don't know what it is that he wants. What does he have available to him? What is it that he wants in the second age? Because like let's look at this from the perspective of, okay, you've reached the second age. What are you doing about it? Like what is it that you're achieving? Okay, so you're dropping a stable. All right, so you're dropping a stable, so it's 4 minutes 40. I guess that's decent. The other thing I guess he's got working for is the man's quarry, right? Like it's trickling gold for him. But I still feel like the gold that you're getting from having 10 vills on it is just dwarfed by the amount of villager seconds that you're losing. But we'll wait and see how it plays out for him and whether it works out in the long run. Up towards the north, He's going to start thinking about expanding out with the pit mines. He's got a beautiful pit mine back here. This is just absolutely the stuff that dreams are made of. You drop the pit mine in, you wall it in, and you just forget about it. You set and forget. And look, it's perfectly, it's just absolutely perfect. Immaculate. We're going to have the village coming out, though, or the villager coming out to drop down the mill. So we could potentially see, don't dare tell me what I think we're going to see. He does have the potential to go into wheelbarrow here. It's probably unlikely, though. And it's probably into warrior scouts. Let's have a look and see whether he goes into that. Yeah, warrior scouts going to be the way that he goes. So warrior scout opening could be going into professional scouts. Do we dare see professional scouts coming in? The Malian professional scout, warrior scout, warrior professional scout, professional warrior scout. I think that's it. That's got to be it, right? Professional warrior scout. If it isn't the professional warrior scout, well, it's going to be wheelbarrow for our Mongol player Crackety. We can see him grabbing that in, and it's going to be wheelbarrow for Zerton as well. He also looks to pick up double broad axe. Needs to add in another lumber camp. You can see he's gathering quite a long distance here. This is part of the reason why I talk about straggler trees being so strong in this update, because look at the distance that he's traveling right here. And compare that to the distance that the straggler is to the tree. It is a lesser distance from the straggler, the straggler. Oh my lord, having a stroke. Let me reboot, guys. Okay, there we go. Look at the distance from the straggler tree to the town center, and then compare these existing trees to the lumber camp. By far, the straggler tree is more efficient. So it makes sense for you to be utilizing these stragglers early on in the game. Even if you've got the lumber camp, don't be afraid to go onto the stragglers because it is high value. It is high value, 100%. But we do see a heavy amount of villagers moving out towards the... oh my lord, it's going to be so close. He's doing a bit of a ring around the rosy. It looks like he's going to be able to get it as well. Manages to take it out. Loses one of the scouts for his hard work, though. Not a bad trade. One scout for one Khan. The Khan's going to be on cooldown for 2 minutes. Surely Twitch chat going to be calling good game after that one. But... you and I are both a little bit wiser than that. Wheelbarrow almost in now. And the full wall over on that east side. I say full wall. I mean, it looks like a full wall. I don't know if that's a full wall, though. It might just look... I think that's probably fully walled. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. And now double horseman. Once again, moving up to draw out some pressure onto the house in the north side of the map. Crackety here. No real signs of any age up coming through at this point. In fact, if anything, it looks like he might be going for a double town center play. And we might be seeing the same thing coming out from Zerton because he is gathering up stone as well. And of course, he has not got the Mansa Quarry on stone. So I'm starting to worry whether he knows about this. Could definitely put in another lumber camp here, get a bit more efficiency from that one. But for the most part, he's got his wheelbarrow, so he's still getting pretty decent efficiency. Already the bounty has been collected on this house. So even if the house goes down, it is going to be in the favor of the Mongol player. So Crackety definitely feeling good about himself after that one. Still no villagers yet to be killed. Sofa out. Sofa going to be very effective here against the horseman. Quite a high base armor. Not to mention a very high base attack as well. But definitely a lot of pressure being put out on this position. We do see the second town center now being thrown down towards the safer position at the back of the base. Crackety also going to be throwing down a second town center. Another interesting spot, but I guess it does kind of protect the deer over here on the west side. I guess one of the things you've got to be cognizant of is if your enemy does look to go into professional scouts, they could be stealing away some of those deer. But we haven't seen professional scouts research just yet from Zerton, though it is definitely a possibility. And to be honest, I'm kind of curious why we didn't see it. But Crackety definitely pulling up some great numbers here. Hasn't actually researched Raid Bounty. Raid Bounty would have already pulled him in an extra... so it would have given him an extra 50, 100, 200, 250... this would have been 300, so it would have given an extra 300 resources just from the amount of buildings he's sieged in this attack. And now going to start working towards the next one. So that's the difference that Raid Bounty can make. And the question is whether we're going to see it. I don't think we're going to be seeing it today, though. Still yet to have enough resources to really to pull that one in. The first of the Donzos finally making it out onto the field. Zerton definitely under a lot of pressure here. And I'm loving this style from Crackety. And now it looks to me like he might be thinking about heading in towards that castle edge, but he still has a lot of villagers on wood, which could be indicative of maybe a bit of an archer transition. We'll check back in on the other side of the map. No, it's going to be a pasture transition. So dropping down some pastures here and heading towards the Uvu. My lord, that scout got absolutely hit in the face with the town center, but fortunately makes it out alive. Back towards the north side of the map, the horsemen. I mean, this was a great investment, and we now see Zerton just going to rebuild all of the houses up here. He does have the pit mine up towards the north, which is still, once again, a very safe pit mine, so it could be an option for him. Villager count even at the moment, despite the second town center coming out for both players here. More pastures being added in around the town center. You'd love to have the pastures down a bit further towards the Uvu, but there's always a guarantee that the sheep won't make it safely. But there we go. They're out. They're about. So he's a happy camper. And still putting pressure up towards this north side. Just making sure his enemy's in his base. Now, you might be thinking a little bit about, you know, what would have been an appropriate response here. Should a villager come out and repair it? Should he wall up? Should he tower it? Well, you could go for a tower, but you got to remember, a tower isn't actually going to protect all of this. It can't reach. You could go for a more aggressive tower, but when there's this many units, the tower is not going to be able to protect you, just because of, look how fast they siege it down. Boom, 2 volleys, and they get the bounty, and they're out. He doesn't lose a single unit. He just gets out, and he's gone. That is simply it. Sieges it, and he's out. Siege it, and he's out. So, you can drop an outpost down and try and defend this position, but by doing so, it doesn't really allow you to defend it. The best thing you can do is wall, and that's exactly what he's going to do now. So, by starting to wall up across the entire base, you can see he's going to have an effective response, but he's going to be careful here. There's a couple of Donzos in the mix. Scout out here as well. Let's see if he decides to go for it. He does actually spot it. Yeah, I was going to say, this is free real estate. And he throws down the attack speed. Looking to try and bait him back towards the Donzos. Ooh, it was a close one. I think he might actually be able to get a horseman for his hard work. Indeed he does. Manages to take out a second one as well. So not too bad, but now going to be heading back towards the other side. Kraken giving him the runaround right now. Looking a little bit like Give You Anxiety, just giving the runaround through the enemy base, except not using musketeers. No. He's going to be using horsemen to do it. Outpost was going to be going up, but the villagers instead just going to be evacuating the dance floor. He realizes, hold on a minute. Hello, what are you guys up to? Where do you think you're going? First villager going to be going down. Donzo's coming in. There's a lot of Donzos here. You don't want to fight that. And indeed, the right decision to back out of there. 2 more horsemen go down in the Khan. He sends in a single horseman to its death. No, not to its death. He manages to take out another villager. So gets 2 villagers there for his hard work. Still feeling a little bit like he's going to have to get a bit more value. Town center, able to fire down upon these units. Another horseman goes down. Crackety working hard, and we see the age up about to come through for Crackety. It's going to be the step redoubt. No surprises there. Dropping it in on the forward gold mine. We'll need to move the town center away from that if he wants to get full value. But still just giving him the absolute runaround here. Getting pretty decent value and buying a lot of time behind this. Technology's now coming in as well, looking to try and pick up horticulture. His food gathering technology, and look at this. Absolutely beautiful stuff right here. You just love them to be on the Uvu. That's the main difference, because when they're not on the Uvu, they're always going to be a little bit slower. You need a little bit more of the pastures to maintain, but look at this. He's just got them shift queued in. And now he's just going to send them out on a different route. Beautiful stuff. And now the outposts begin coming up. So where to from here? He started off with 2 town centers. He goes into the castle age. So the answer is men-at-arms. We can see that's reflected by the amount of barracks and archery ranges. So men-at-arms and crossbows, most likely. You could also go spearmen crossbows, another good combo. And then from here, he's going to be looking to trench it up and then start moving that siege death ball in. The Mongols play a lot like the Protoss. They've got a big death ball and they just A-move. Prayer tent now coming up. No surprises there. I am kind of surprised not to see it on the Uvu, but I guess the Uvu's only got 41 remaining. So he's going to have to start thinking about where his next Uvu goes. I guess it's over here. A little bit of an awkward spot. He could always go for a forward Uvu. Bit more dangerous, though. Definitely a bit an advanced strategy. I don't recommend it. Indeed, Messenger. I don't know what that means, but I guess it means he's happy that he's finished a building. But we'll check in on the other side of the map, though. The Grand Fulani Corral now going to be coming up. We did see the Farima Garrison coming out earlier. But once again, Zerton going for the Grand Fulani Corral and putting it right next to all of his buildings. So one of the things that you want to do with the Grand Fulani Corral, you want to give it some space. You want to chuck it over here somewhere, maybe even just here. Just give it 3 tiles on either side so you can fit those cattle ranches in. If you don't have the cattle ranches in, then it's going to be really, it's not going to be feeling good, because you need that to maximize the efficiency. You really want to have those cattle ranches. Warrior Scout now, looking to try its best here. Sounds like relics getting picked up on the south side. Indeed they are. The first relic going to be going over towards Crackety. He's going to have more and more of these, more and more of the shaman in queue. We see him now with enough resources to get that next one, but the age ups come through in the north of the map. We don't see any cows out just yet for Zerton in the north. We're going to switch it over from villager count over to resources a minute and compare the pair. Once again, that raid coming through. Khan getting caught out of position. Villager managing to hold on. Beautiful Mongol villager. You got to love the way. It has that very regal appearance to it. Like it's an elite villager, just because it's got so much gold on it. Spring-order placement in the middle of the map. Actually going to get caught out. But he does manage to keep the villager alive. Subsequently heal or repairs up the outpost and takes out a whole bunch of units for his hard travels. Now turns his attention towards the toll outpost in the middle that was slowly being pushed out towards the enemy base. Back towards this base. Look at the production that's coming in. Archery range, archery range, archery range. Barracks, barracks, barracks. More archery ranges. 4 archery ranges, 3 barracks. This is what it is all about. Crossbows, men-at-arms. A deadly composition and a difficult composition to beat. Crossbows are going to be very effective up against any of those sofas that try and come through. Now that relic, that next relic is taken. That's the second relic for today. We'll check in. with Zerton and see whether he's gone for a mosque just yet. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's coming up empty-handed on the religious side of things. Yet to add in that mosque. So leaving all of the relics out on the field to be taken by Crackety. And now plenty more units joining the field here once again. Over on the west side, a bit of a raid coming in with those Sofa. He's got a single villager just out here doing some long-distance chopping. Why the hell not? Brings back that second relic. I should have more shamans out on the field. I'm not sure exactly where they all are. But I only see the one for now. Oh, there's the second one. Second one just coming out now. He's also making a third one. So definitely not forgetting about it. And he's still got these hunts behind his base that he's yet to exploit. And I guess he's not really needed to. Look at all the sheep that are coming in here for Crackety. He's got plenty of sheep right now underneath the town center. Total of 9 sheep down here. And still pushing out. Decent numbers. Uvu comes down. Blacksmith, going to be the first building that gets placed on it. And that Zerton should immediately trigger something in Zerton when he sees that on the Uvu. He'll say, okay, the push is coming. It's going to be a big infantry push. There's going to be a lot of siege. So how do you respond to that? And to be honest, I don't know the answer. Not going to matter. Relic goes down. Shaman goes down. So what's the best response to men-at-arm crossbow here? Well, you're probably... Maybe Musofati. Maybe that's a decent response. But the Musofati, while it is cheap, it's not particularly effective against units other than men-at-arms. So I guess I would be tempted. Maybe Musofati in stealth with a bit of a flank onto any potential siege. I guess that would be the play. And then, do I dare say warrior scouts as an option? Maybe warrior scouts as an option. It becomes one of those questionable things. Second relic actually picked up here at the exact same time for Zerton. So he's on to 2. And that last final relic going to be going over to Crackety here. So it's going to be a 3-2 split. Not a bad split for Zerton, honestly, considering the fact that he was so late to the party with regard to his mosque. It does eventually get dropped down. And we do see the veteran so far just getting absolutely annihilated by the crossbows. Too many crossbows for him to deal with there. I guess the other option that Zerton could look for is to go into archers and Musofati. But, yeah, I'm curious to see how he's going to play this, because it's definitely one of those curious things, like, yeah, what do you do in this matchup against that composition? It just seems very difficult to deal with. I feel like Musofati kind of need a bit more of a buff against heavy infantry. I would love to see Musofati, at the moment, I think they're like 9 damage with 9 bonus against heavy. I'd love to see it like 9 damage with like 14 bonus against heavy. Just something to push them a little bit further and make them stand out a bit more specialized. But definitely the burden is on the Musofati player to make sure that the Musofati shine, because you have to be microing them and making sure that they're attacking heavy units. Double traction trebuchet out now. Boulders begin to strike the toll outpost. Remember, there's about a 90% chance that the boulders do hit. About a 10% chance that the boulders miss. Looks like he's at 100% for today. Manages to take out the first of the outposts, and he'll begin working his way through the rest of it. Outpost back here. Looking like they're going to be able to defend the Uvu, realizing it would be an attack point. Did we see a villager go down here? No, it doesn't look like it. It's just going to be a sofa. For now, villager count, there's only been 2 that have been killed. 86 villagers versus 85. So both players very even. Very even, Stevens. 3 versus 2 relics as well. But we do see Sacred Sites now starting to go in favor of Crackety playing as the Mongols. We've got a little bit of a Sacred Site standoff towards the north. And look at the shaman. I mean, that's not a shaman. That's an imam. But he looks like a shaman, doesn't he? He really does. That is some beautiful regalia. Let's just say that. He's looking great. Military mass here for Crackety, looking strong. Springalds. No mangonels just yet. I'd love to see a mangonel, just at least one mangonel out for Crackety. Let's see if he looks to drop it down. He's got a huge amount of resources in the bag at the moment. Sitting on about 3k, 3.5k, 3.8k, 4k resources. That's a lot of resources. Yeah, about 4k resources a minute. Compare that over to here, 2.5k. God, you can see the difference when it comes to the Mongol economy. That is absolute insanity. I guess he's just got all of his upgrades in. Is that what the difference is? I don't know exactly what the difference is here, but that is a huge amount of difference between these two players. And yeah, I mean, the Malians notorious for their powerhouse economy. Now only adding in the ranches, the cattle ranches coming in. He's got 3 that are coming in. He's able to put them out. Yeah, see, where does he put the rest of them, though? He's going to have to delete these houses or something like that. There's no other way he's going to be able to max out his cattle ranch. And it feels like it's coming in a little bit late. Keep going to be going down, but once again, it keep coming down here. For me, this is like, it's a bit of a head scratcher because there's already trebuchets out from the enemy. The keep allows you to hold on and forces your enemy to push in and deal with the keep with trebuchets, but it's only a matter of time until they do. So you've got to have another plan in store for your enemy. 190 population versus 170 though. So he's up about 20 population at the moment. So you can see a lot of that is just going to be siege population. But slowly and steadily, he begins building it up. 3 of the nicest Springalds you'll ever get. The orange Springalds. Continues holding on. Manticore still on gold, still trickling in that gold. Sacred Site to the south does eventually get captured here by Zerton. So Krakeny going to have to neutralize that and start that clock ticking. Trebs once again picking up those bounties. And we can see he's actually picked up the improved bounty. Where is it? Out over here. He's picked up the improved bounty finally. And now going to be cleaning up all of these and grabbing the extra bounty on top of it. Looks like he wants to move forward. Let's see if he's able to pick up even more bounty. Doesn't look like it. Just I guess, swinging and missing for the moment, or hitting some of these buildings. Here we go. You'll see more bounty coming through. Somewhere. Nope, it's not going to happen. White Stupa now getting put down as well. Behind the scenes. There it is. Plenty of villagers on that one. 23. More bounty. My God. Right now, I'm looking for a bounty. I'm like a 6-year-old in a candy store. Like, I don't care about the cherry ripes. I want to see the bounties. That's what I care about. But we're not going to see it. Look at this. Okay. If we don't see it right here, we aren't living if we don't see it here. Oh, is it because we're spectating Zerton? Oh, God. Oh, man. We're spectating Zerton. Zerton really suffering here. Age Up comes through now. And now he's really cleaning out the production. He's lost 2 production buildings. Third one going to start being focused. And then it's going to be onto the relics. There you go. 75 food, 75. Oh, my God. Oh, so it doesn't increase it up to 50. It increases it by 50. Oh, my Lord. That is busted as all hell. Oh, I didn't realize that. The bonus, it says that it increases it to 2 plus 50, but it's by plus 50. Speaking of that, we got ourselves a battle on our hands. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Men-at-Arms on the front line, crossbows on the back line, firing off towards plenty of units here. He's got archers on the backside, but they do have their poison upgrades. Trebuchets, nice safe distance away. The Men-at-Arms still holding on, making their way through. I don't see any Musofadi in here. Just completely shredded, and now he's going to have to fall back away from this position. A lot of very heavy units that he's got in here. Armored units, and now Knights also going to be coming in. Continues to fall back. Krakeny pulling ahead about 1,700 points in the score. Trebuchet firing off towards the outpost. He's able to take it out, but he forces him back. No elite upgrades through just yet, but look out for those gold little helmets. They're going to be coming in any second now. He's made the Imperial Age, but he's not following the rules of wait until the upgrades come through, and there the upgrades are. You hear them coming in. I don't know whether they're +1s or +2s or +3s, but oh, they're elite Men-at-Arms, I think. They are indeed. Golden shields coming out. Golden crossbows. Golden knights. Elite upgrades coming through, but he looks to try and hold on this position. The Trebs are now going to be starting to fire down upon the enemy buildings once again. Able to start taking out the mosque, and he does hold on for a brief moment. A Mangonel, a Springled, a Keith. He's able to hold on. He's down about 2k score. But Krakeny here definitely looking the favor in this game so far. We're right on board with him as he begins moving around that steppered out. I didn't realize that you get 75 resources. Dude, I'm telling you, man, that's going to be a strategy. People are going to rush that technology, and then they're just going to burn things down. That is crazy. 150 resources for burning down a building that costs 25 wood, and it's got 400 health? That is ludicrous. All right, well, for the most part now, I mean, how does Zerton deal with the Men-at-Arms? I guess the answer is the Musofadi. But then the Musofadi gets countered by the Archer, which is so, like, the Archer is what the Mongols want to make. So, for me, it's like, it's a counter, but at the same time, is it really? It's probably not. Let's check in with the resource counts at the moment. 3k, 3.6k, 4k, versus 7, 1,500, 2,200. So, you've basically got double the economy despite having equal villages. How does that even work? I don't know. I do not know how that actually works. Hold on. Am I doing that right? Surely I'm not doing that right. Yeah, 2.5k over here versus 4k. 4.5k. I don't know why. I don't know why. Sacred Victory now approaching. I'm not sure what it is about the Mongol economy that is so damn good, but it is popping off right now. All right. Big siege mass beginning to move in. 8 trebuchets, 8 traction trebuchets out here right now for Krakeny. He's looking to pick up all the upgrades. We see roller shutter triggers. I think that might be improved roller shutter triggers coming in. Let's double check and see. No, it's not here. So it's probably on a siege workshop somewhere. We'll double check. It could be on the white stupa. Where's that white stupa? There it is. Yeah, improved roller shutter triggers. So these Springles are going to be sitting at 13 range. How do you deal with 13 range Springles in the Castle Age? I'll give you a hint. You don't. It is so damn difficult to deal with 13 range Springles, let alone in the Castle Age. Men-at-Arms of the elite style now coming over onto the west side. Going to be idling up even more villagers. Just when the economy of Zerton couldn't get worse, he idles it out even further. 9 minutes until that Sacred Site victory comes through. But we do have the age up. Now going to be coming in on the front side. It's going to be the Fort of the Huntress. And there is a potential option for him here. I mean, the military mass just isn't big enough. And I don't think your siege can go invisible. Oh my god, could you imagine if Mangonels could go invisible? How amazing that would be. Villagers trying their best to get out of here. Going to manage to hightail it out of here and survive. He's going to have to head up towards the north if he wants to collect that gold. He's only got a K left on that bad boy. Still got relics here that he's going to need to pick up. He's replaced the mosque, but he's just not yet put that one in. So these units should be invisible? Yeah. So you can kind of see that they're invisible here. I mean, they're definitely invisible if we look from Crackety's perspective. You cannot see anything. But yeah, from Zerton's perspective, we can kind of still see them. So it's going to be hard to determine whether they're invisible or not. Another keep coming down. Okay, if Zerton's got a way back into this game, it's through gold control. And he's established gold control. Or at least he kind of established gold control. He's got gold control on the south. Let's give him that. Gold on the north, though, that's a different matter. And if there's any civ that's got plenty of gold or extra gold or doesn't have to worry too much about gold, it's the Mongols. Because they get an extra 50% gold. You know, take your 4,000 gold and double it, and then take away 2,000 gold. Because we're not the best at maths. It's an extra 50% gold. So your 4Ks go to 6K, your 8Ks go to 12K. You're going to be looking to move on to gold mines a lot less often than your enemy is. More and more bounties continuing to come through. The Trebs dishing out damage non-stop. Look at that. Oh my god, and now it's giving stone. Oh lord. The 25 wood building is giving 225 resources to the Mongol player. This is not fair. This is not fair. It's so much resources, dude. It is so many resources. It is... I'm going to say it. I think this is probably the hardest matchup here for the Malians, just because of this one mechanic. This one mechanic is actually so busted. Now starting to work down that Fort of the Huntress. Where are the units coming out from Zerton? We can see he's actually starting to go into Musafati. He's got elite archer. Now looking to pick up +1 on the melee armor, so or +2 rather. Bloomery as well as insulated helm. And stone walls now coming up. He's looking to try and divide the map out, make it a little bit harder for his enemy to push in. Hand cannoneer is going to be coming out though. All the +3 upgrades are in. Yet it's only saying that there's only +2s. I don't know why it's saying that. Why is it saying Crackety's got +3s? Yeah, weird. But only +2 up here. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the reason is. Fort of the Huntress about to go down. He could have repaired this with wood. He is repairing it with wood, rather. But you can see there's so many damn trebuchets out here. Oh, we said earlier he had 8 trebuchets. That's not true. He's got 4 trebuchets. I think they take 2 population each. And the Fort of the Huntress about to go down. Good night, sweet prince. Warrior scouts together with the Donzos. Elite archers on the backside. Oh, don't tell me he's yet to pick up the upgrade. Fort of the Huntress does go down. I think he's yet to pick up precision as the upgrade. Oh, he's getting it now. He's getting precision. Needs to get plate cutter point as well. This will allow his archers to at least try and contest the archers of his enemy. But look at Crackety. He's picking up so many upgrades behind this. The question is whether he's going into... It doesn't look like he is. Yeah, Incendiary. He's literally getting every single upgrade. He's got everything clicked right now. Look at this. Push coming to shove. We're entering into the cinematic mode as Crackety here and Zerton look to battle it out in the Imperial Age. Crackety able to take out enemy Mangonels before the shots even happen. The power of the 13 range Springles now just focusing down the enemy Springles. Doesn't even lose a single Springle behind this. Overpowers his enemy. And at this point in the game, Zerton looking like he continues to struggle. Forces himself a way back. He's underneath the next keep. But the Treb's going to continue firing down in the direction. They're instead focusing on a lumber camp. Probably the wrong direction. But now the crossbow is going to be moving in underneath the production. I'm not sure whether he's got the elite upgrades on this. Actually, yeah, he does have the elite upgrades. And now looking to try and bypass that front line. The Khan going to be providing a little bit of attack speed here. Springlets continue to fire down on the enemy units, just dishing out constant damage. That improved roller shutter triggers makes them fire faster as well as fire longer. So in good game gets called. Crackety here brings it back in the series. The Mongols demonstrating their prowess once again in this matchup against the Malians. Malians, a very difficult matchup against the Mongols. Wow. And I mean, we just got to talk about that one mechanic, don't we? This single mechanic changes the way that this matchup plays. The bounty mechanic. 30 minutes and 2 seconds for you guys. Let's take a look at the village account. Absolutely even Stevens throughout that entire game until the end. Zerton losing out on those units, or out on those villages. Units killed. We can see Crackety with more than 100, or rather not even more than 100, 800 more units killed than his enemy. When it comes to the next game, that is going to be the question. We pull up the scoreboard and take a look for you guys. So this was Mongols versus Malians. So the next game, it's going to be Crackety on the Ottomans. And that means Zerton's going to have to go back to one of the OG civilizations. He's got the Rus, the Holy Roman Empire, the French, the English, the Delhi, and the Chinese. Keep in mind the map is always going to be Dry Arabia. So you know exactly what could be coming up. So probably look to one of those open civilizations, maybe the Delhi, maybe the French, maybe the Rus as one of his options. But that is going to be it, fellas. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out Red Bull Wallalol. It is happening this week, this weekend. It's going to be happening all the time. I might even be there on the ground right now casting a game. So go check it out. Link in the description. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. It is going to be coming up after this.